I'm going to start straight off with what's your view, Masood, on what it takes to be a real trailblazing leader today?
It's a really good question. And I think it starts with what does it mean to be trailblazer, and also what local context you're operating within, and what does trailblazing looks like within that context. But there are certain common traits and certain common characteristics that I believe are essential for leadership today. I think one of the words that you used earlier is about adaptability. And I do believe that when you're operating in a highly uncertain and volatile environment, adaptability becomes a really important leadership quality that you need to exhibit and you need to embrace fully. So I would say an adaptable leader is a critical leader in today's world. I would also say someone who has the capability to do more foresight and more future gazing than before. And one of the big reasons behind that is the world that we are operating in is so unpredictable at the moment, regardless of whether that's geopolitical environment, whether that's your local context, whether that's your sectoral concerns. There's so much uncertainty and lack of predictability at the moment. So someone who can have the foresight to at least plan for different scenarios and to start building the foundational blocks for how to cope with different scenarios and allow others to cope with those different scenarios. I think that's quite an essential trait these days. In those uncertain environments, I think we also need someone who is able to make decisions, and decisions with the amount of information that they have at any given time. The days of we will have the full complete picture and therefore we can make extremely informed decisions, I don't think that's there anymore. So leaders have to take calculated risks. Leaders have to make more capable decisions in that context, and to bring others with them in that particular mode. I think that decision making with agility is quite an essential skill now. And then the last thing I would say is a people-centered, empathetic leadership model. We all have businesses that we operate in or organizations that we work with, but people are what make organizations succeed or fail. And if we lose sight of that, and if we lose sight of bringing empathy in that decision making and people centricity in that decision making, I think we lose the essence of why we are here in the first place as leaders, and that part is quite critical. So I would say those 3 or 4 things are quite high on my agenda as someone who you mentioning as a trailblazer leader. So it's not necessarily something unique. It's just that things that were already qualities of good leadership, I think are now heightened more in the current kind of scenarios.